So moving down here has been great for us for so many reasons. Part of that is being down here in the Wynyard Innovation Quarter, and the other part is about building our relationship with Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei.
It was really important to us to recognise the culture of this place, the language, and to weave that through the narrative of the building.
2022 was an opportunity to be welcomed onto Ōrākei Marae. The significance of the event is to recognise, I guess, the duration of the partnership that we've had with Ngāti Whātua, that whilst we have an integral role in shaping tāmaki, Ngāti Whātua have been here longer than us. I think where the narrative landed and the gifting of a name was a nice representation, I think, from their eyes, what they see in Beca and the contributions or the opportunities that can come about through this partnership.
It's a real important thing for people to come on to the marae and be received formally in the traditional fashion. There was a series of wānanga to help us understand certain themes, the location that Beca is coming into, and how to relate that to some of the themes that they were thinking about, one of which was manu.
As we began to workshop what a headquarters is in the context of, from a Māori perspective, seeing this as the hub or that primary position that most of our people and clients and family can connect with, help to influence, I guess, this thought process around that central pillar, o rākau taumatua, kohanga influence. It's inviting others from outside the region, outside the office to come and take perch. That whole representation of diversity of skills and experiences sort of comes through, and that using the bird as a metaphor. Fortunate to be gifted a name as part of the process. The more that Ngāti Whātua learnt about us and what we stand for, they've come up with a name, 3 parts to the name: Te Paeroa taumatua, Te Paeroa kaiata, Te Paeroa te Kawau. Obviously there's repetition with the word Paeroa. I think the clever thing about it is how you can manipulate that word to suit certain contexts. The context of a pōhiri, your primary speakers would reside on the paipai, and it's a indicator of strength and health within the iwi if you're able to fill that paipai. Te Paeroa taumatua, we are still talking about that front bench and filling that front bench with a legacy of leadership, but also challenging us to extend that pai, invest in our people and bring them up into those leadership ranks. Second line, Te Paeroa kaiata. Here, for me, Te Paeroa is in reference to the horizon. Kaiata, to eat the dawn. So it is looking to where the sun rises, searching for that opportunity that the new day brings, challenging us to be innovative. In the last line, Te Paeroa te Kawau, I feel like that sort of centres us where we are in the present. The location of the office, shores of Waitemata. For me, Te Paeroa is reference to that former shoreline. An indicator too of how development changes spaces.
And the Kawau is a significant bird here in this area and is held within certain kōrero tukuiho and certain tauparapara. When Kawau flock together, adds another layer of whakaaro and ideas that you can draw off as well. In particular, the phrasing of Te Kawau Maro talks to the shape of the flight of the Kawau, a certain formation that speaks to the Kawau's tenacity. One of more prominent rangatira Apihai Te Kawau was the tupuna that invited Governor Hobson here to the Waitemata in the 1800s and granted the 3,000 acres, which we call Te Kohao Te Kawau, or the Tuku Whenua that is the modern Auckland CBD. Going through this process leaves some responsibility to the occupants of the building to uphold and protect the narrative, but also to add to its mana as well.
Fortunate that we had a space that we could adorn with a bit of some sort of artistic flair.
The first thing for me, obviously, is there's the narrative of the Kawau. When you're dealing with reclaimed whenua in a space that was originally the moana, the waitemata, I naturally go back to an original sort of spatial awareness. From there, you're looking at the mooring, the boats for materials, and you're looking at manu or bird migrations, and then it just, it develops. It's a light work is the first layer of design, and then the ropes are a secondary layer. And so light was used to connect with the unseen feeling and movement of the waitemata. So it's sequenced to move with the tides. The light moves across the wall, and then there's a point where the light comes directly down to the kohatu. This is obviously the global headquarters, and I liken it to like little nests of birds, these little hubs around the world. And birds obviously migrate from one place to the next, and you'll see on the artwork sort of concentrated area in which the ropes come from, and they meet and they cross over, and then they sort of drift across the wall. The work is about bringing people together and weaving those relationships together. Karere te manu, karere te wai. You can translate it and be really literal, like the birds are flying and the water is moving. That's not the deep meaning of that. It's this transitional, relational, important feeling and experience of what we do when we migrate and move, and when we acknowledge space and tides. Tuia ki te rangi, it's such a high space, it's really unique. And to create an artwork where you have to look up and stand under it. And tuhia ki te rangi means to write it in the sky, to write your dreams and your aspirations and your thoughts into a high place.
So with the art installation that's been curated, an opportunity also to unveil and bless that piece of art in the tikanga that is appropriate for Ngāti Paeroa.
Karakia, when you embed that into an artwork, it not only clears space for the artwork to be and to be embedded in space, but it becomes an ongoing protection and an ongoing aspect of the artwork that continues beyond time.
So one of the things I'm really looking forward to, I hope, but I also have a bit of belief in this because I hear the stories about Te Paeroa or Te Kawau already, and I look forward to hearing the stories from future generations. As it becomes part of the legacy, it'll become part of the story that we tell about the step change it delivered for our growth and for our aspirations.